Well, good morning, everyone. This is Kelly Hardwick. I'm the Executive Director here at the Mississippi State Personnel Board, State Personnel Director. I want to thank everyone for taking some time out on Friday morning to attend this training that we have regarding an exciting project that we've undertaken here at the State Personnel Board to hopefully give you another tool in your toolbox to be able to recruit folks all across the state of Mississippi. I just want to say a special thank you to Ryan and his team at the hard work that they have put into this, and Daniel Hearn and Brittany Frederick for the work that they have done to be able to put us in a situation to where we can give you this opportunity to be able to maximize in your recruitment efforts. And so I just again want to say thank you on behalf of myself and our staff and the board at the Mississippi State Personnel Board for all of your hard work in making this a success and being attentive to complying with the requirements that we have to continue with our merit system that we have here in the state of Mississippi. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan Beard and let him kick it off and get us going this morning. So thanks again, everyone.
Thank you, Kelly. So this is, I don't anticipate this taking the full hour, but y'all know in December, because we've had a couple of meetings about this, as well as emails from communications in January and February, that our board revised the policy and procedures manual at our December meeting to be effective on March 1st of 2025 to make things a little easier for y'all in terms of recruitment. They also approved 186 jobs to be exempt from regular recruitment at the State Personnel Board, but then also made things a lot easier. And we're going to talk about some of those changes and then how we're going to monitor and track this in this new world. So these were done to create efficiencies in recruitment selection, and while also ensuring that merit-based appointments are being executed outside of our regular recruitment through NeoGov and the State Personnel Board. So the first thing we did is we reiterated and reclarified that if you use a alternate method for recruiting for applicants and not NeoGov, that it does not remove your responsibility as an agency in complying with state and federal law regarding merit-based competitive recruitment. That's always been in policy, but we kind of clarified it and moved it up in the policy manual and reiterated it in various places that if you are exempt or you use concurrent recruitment, then it does not relieve you of your obligation to maintain a merit-based competitive recruitment. Beginning in section 3.1.2 and carried throughout the manual, it authorized agencies to utilize any recruitment methods available to them to attract as many candidates as possible in conjunction with regular recruitment via the State Personnel Board's website. So we're calling this concurrent recruitment. And what this says is while you're posting through NeoGov, you can also post it anywhere else you would like and receive applications from those various sources rather than having LinkedIn or Indeed link back to NeoGov. You'll be able to accept applications and resumes as they're submitted through these various sources and not have to link back and make them fill out a NeoGov application. So with these concurrent recruitments, this has always been in there, but we did want to reiterate it. The information contained on your postings outside of NeoGov need to be substantively and substantially similar to the information that's posted in NeoGov. So the starting and ending salaries need to be the same. The start and end date need to be the same. The job classification and functional title need to be the same. The location, shift, any of that stuff that you're putting on these other sites need to match what you're posting in NeoGov. That's kind of common sense, but we did want to reiterate that. Beginning in section 4.2.1, It authorizes agencies to accept resumes for their concurrent recruitment postings. So it doesn't have to be official state of Mississippi application anymore. We will be accepting resumes in lieu of that application. We did clarify that much like when they submitted an application to us, they're certifying that the information is true. When they submit a resume for a concurrent recruitment, they are certifying that the information contained within that resume is accurate, as well as if they were sending it through an application through the normal process. Section 4.2.6 is the new section, but it establishes a list of required information. A lot of the stuff we use for our evaluations aren't contained on a typical resume, and we will need some of that information in order to do our evaluation in DaWan And so while it doesn't have to be on the application itself, it needs to be supplemented by the applicant or the agency via email to allow DaWan's team to effectively evaluate those applications. So how we're going to track it, we're going to look at this. We developed a form through Microsoft Forms that allows you to submit hires through concurrent recruitments or exempt recruitments. It'll be sent to each HR director to be then distributed to their recruitment staff and their hiring staff. But a new form will need to be completed for each hire not made through NeoGov, whether it's through concurrent recruitment or for classifications that are exempt from our regular recruitment through NeoGov. So I will tab over to that form. This is what the form's going to look like. You will start now. You will select your agency. The position number, this will be the employee central position number. And the first question you're asked is, was this position posted through NeoGov? If you say no, who are we hiring? We're hiring Sally Smith. How many applicants did you actually receive? How many applications did you receive from all of your various sourcings? All right, well, so we got 85 applicants. The source of Sally's application was Indeed. We conducted 4 interviews. We used Indeed, LinkedIn, and agency website. And then whoever is submitting this form, all right, their email address. That's literally all we're asking you for, is this information right here. All right. If it's NeoGov, it's going to ask you a couple of extra questions. What was the requisition number? And has the posting closed? You would be surprised at how many exempt hires we get when a posting is still out there in NeoGov. So the job will have to be closed on NeoGov before you can appoint somebody. All right, so yes, it has closed. And then those are the only 2 questions that are different. If you select yes, this was posted through NeoGov. Jim Jones, number of applicants, 40. Source, we use NeoGov. Agency website. Oh, this was NeoGov. Actually, we'll pretend this was a concurrent. So this was a NeoGov posting, but we actually got our applicant from the agency website. We conducted 7 interviews. We used NeoGov, agency website, and Indeed. And your email address of who's submitting it, and you click submit. In addition to this, each agency will have access to a folder that will track all of these responses. So you'll have access to every hire you've made through here will populate automatically in here. So as you can see, here's Sally Smith and Jim Jones that I just keyed in. It lists the number of applicants, number of interviews conducted, all sources, where you actually hired the person from, who submitted it, and when it was submitted. So that's going to be our new process for tracking this information on concurrent postings and exempt postings. Again, if you go through NeoGov, you don't have to do any of this. You can continue business as usual. This is only going to be for concurrent postings and exempt hires. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen and open it up to questions.
Can we get a link to this once y'all have it recorded so we can let employees that weren't here to be able to attend? See
Yeah,
this?
it'll be on our YouTube page either this afternoon or Monday morning.
Excellent, thank you.
Hey Ryan, this is Susie. Okay, so you were saying that a resume can be accepted instead of NeoGov. However, it just has to have all of the items that y'all require on the resume, but we can submit that instead of them filling out an application,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, got you.
And you know, like, and from an evaluation standpoint, y'all know we look at, you know, number of hours worked. Well, people don't normally put hours worked on a resume. And so that can be supplemented from the applicant just saying, for this job, I worked 35 hours a week. For this job, I worked 40 hours a week. You know, we can supplement the information on the resume with the information we need via email.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Ryan, the concurrent form, will it be sent out today?
I know Daniel's been efforting because he had to make 78 sheets and link them all to that form based on how you pick your agency. And so it will be out in the next couple of days. I'm not going to promise today, but you'll have it before we get tomorrow. Again, this is not effective until March 1st.
Okay.
So, but you will have it before we go live, and we'll send it to the HR directors, and then they can distribute it to their staff who actually handles this work. Lindsay asked in the chat if our analysts will be able to view this form. So in addition to you having access to all the ones that you submit, there will be a master sheet that all the forms will update that we'll use on the back end for new hires. But if we get a hire that's not from NeoGov, that's going to be their first place they go, is to verify that that form was filled out for that applicant. So yes, they will have access to each form. Robertson at MDOT has her hand up.
So just clarification for me. I know we're speaking about jobs that are typically posted like our engineering positions. If it is a entry level position that is not typically posted or on any platform, but more so someone does a paper application and submit it in to us, are we also going to be able to accept a resume for those positions as well? For any of our positions that we have, a resume will be accepted.
Resumes will be accepted for. We decided it's time to start accepting resumes in state government Mississippi. I know we're about 20 years too late on that, but we have decided that that's the official state of Mississippi application shouldn't be the end all be all for making hires.
Thank you.
Melody asked in the chat, for exempt positions, we'll need to use this form. Yes. If you do not hire them from NeoGov, the first place my analysts are going to go for a hire that's not from NeoGov will be to this form. Wilder.
Okay, so in addition to the resume or the application for a support care professional hire, They're
Yes, ma'am.
gonna have to fill out that form, send in the app or attach the application in EC and fill out the form for all
Yeah.
non-exempt, I mean, for
For any
exempt
job,
positions.
for any job not hired through NeoGov.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I had one other question. I think that this was one of our meetings prior to, but NeoGov, I had thought that we could go on and post a position for that a person was still in. You know, like,
So-
I know but the last time that I tried to do that, we were told that we couldn't. There had to be a separation date on that employee before I could post that position.
That is correct.
So I have to have a separation date before I can post it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got you. All right. I misunderstood on that.
'Cause I think, I mean, ultimately, we wouldn't be trying to fill a position that's filled, or trying to post a position that's filled unless we knew that person was leaving, right?
Well, what it was going to be more than 90 days out, but we couldn't put a separation date, but it's a really, really hard to fill position. So it was going to be like 4 months until this person actually left, but we were wanting to go on and start recruiting for it and
Sure,
do some
okay.
cross training.
I see what you're
But
saying.
we
So
couldn't.
in those one-off situations, if y'all will reach out to your analyst, there are some things we can do to help with that. Oh, so just let us know. We can work with you on
All
that.
right. Oh, good deal. Thanks.
Carter.
Good morning. Does this process apply if we have temp agency employees working for us and they've been working for us for 1, 2 years? Do we still have to announce it, or can we do direct hire like for the BPS ones and BPS twos?
So if the job is exempt, you don't have to post it through NeoGov,
Mm-hmm.
but you do have to maintain some level of merit-based appointment. So
Okay.
you will need to fill out the form for us and tell us we did post it, even if it was internally just for temp people, and 5 people applied, 5 of our, temps applied, and we interviewed 4 of them, and we hired this one, that's acceptable. But we will need that form filled out.
Thank you. That helps a lot.
Yes, ma'am. Will we need to do this for attorneys or executive level hires? I'm assuming we're talking about X16 people. So X16 and attorneys are also exempt from selection. Again, our role in this is to make sure that merit-based appointments are being considered, even if they are exempt from selection. So I know that some of these can get gray in terms of X16 appointments, but then there's some of you who have, 20, 30% of your staff are X16. So right now we're going to hold to, if it's an executive appointment or if it's a exempt appointment, the form needs to be filled out.
So Ryan, can you hear me? I have one follow-up question.
Mhm.
So I'm asking this because it's timely for us. We have a position in senior leadership open. It's actually our CFO position right now. So if we end up in a position where we have posted it, we posted it through NeoGov, but we just haven't conducted any interviews yet. Sometimes in those types of positions, the secretary might have someone specific in mind who we interview. They are qualified, but we might not conduct other interviews because it's just at that level where that person interacts with him pretty specifically. Would we need to, I assume we would just have to provide some sort of justification statement as to why there were no other interviews, or do I need to do some courtesy interviews to satisfy some
No,
sort of
we don't.
quota?
All right. So yeah, don't do courtesy interviews just
Okay.
to pad your numbers and give
Thank
people
you.
false hope. Okay.
Okay, right.
If because I mean, I've gotten lists before where there was, a very clear, this is the only person that we would even entertain on this list hiring. And that was for a promotional job, not even an X16 job. You don't have to interview a set number. My staff asked me the same question yesterday. What if they interviewed one person? It might be a situation where there was only one person qualified on your list that you felt like could do the job. And so you interviewed them, they were perfect, they accepted the job. That's okay. That's okay. Another question in the chat, the positions not exempt from recruitment have to be posted on NeoGov, but we can hire from anywhere we list the opening. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. So you post it on NeoGov, but you also post it on your website, LinkedIn, Indeed, wherever else, ZipRecruiter, and you get applications from 4 different sources, and you're going through all 4 lists, and you can hire from anybody on any of those 4 lists. I know I had a conversation with one agency about this process, and they got 60 applications from, it was for an exempt job. They got like 28 from NeoGov and 32 from Indeed, and not one of the same people was on both lists. So we want you to be able to, we're trying to open up as many pipelines to employees as we can. And so we're certainly going to let you hire from anywhere that you post the job. Vicky has her hand up.
Just for clarity's sake, so if the position has to be a position that has to be advertised, we don't necessarily have to hire from that referral list. We can hire from other lists as well, from other platforms where we have posted the position. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does that
Well,
apply to promotions as well? Say, for instance, you're going to promote someone within their own PIN and you have to post the position as promotional? How would that work? Do we do the form for that?
If you're promoting somebody in their own PIN, that's a title change.
Okay. So what if we're not promoting in their own PIN?
If you are doing a non-competitive promotion, that wouldn't apply. But if you're going to post a promotion for a promotional opportunity, I mean, we are going to want to see, especially if you didn't post it through NeoGov, how did you find that Vicky was the best candidate for this job?
Okay. All right.
That's all we're trying to do, is make sure that merit-based appointments are being considered in how we go about appointing people.
Thanks.
Yep. Will we need to show documentation of posting on other sites? No. As y'all are aware, we do have some level of audit authority. I don't know when we'll start using that, but if you say you post on Indeed, LinkedIn, we might ask you at some points to show us the posting, but we won't have to do it for every job, and we won't have to do it for every posting or every hire. Provide documentation at this point. Bobby Jones has their hand up. Or was that from the last question, Bobby? I don't know if it. Mr. Yarborough.
When using outside sources, will those lists expire at some point? So if I run an advertisement in January, can I go back to that list 6 months from now?
For a promotional job that requires NeoGov, I would say no. For an exempt job, you did. Again, for an exempt job, I don't see I have a problem with that, Terrence.
Okay.
Because, we're just, for the exempt jobs, we're just trying to make sure that there was some level of merit when you found this person.
Gotcha.
And somebody's not walking into your office as the HR director saying, I hired this person, they start tomorrow at this salary, and you have no idea where they came from.
So for a non-exempt job, I can run a continuous list like on an Indeed and always just pull from my applicant pool.
Yes, because you're going through that process. Yes.
I got you.
If an applicant is sent to subpanel for request for approval, what is the time frame for a decision? It's typically within 2 or 3 days. I mean, Dewan's team monitors that email and sends them to me. I pushed out 7 yesterday and 10 this morning before this meeting. So we look at them as they come in. So it's pretty quick. Unless one's been lost somewhere. If it's been more than a week, I would definitely follow up with that subpanel email address and find out if it's been gone to spam or something like that, Mr. Prater. Susie, I'm not ignoring your question, but I wanted to get through all of the questions about recruitment before we dove into other topics.
Yeah, I kind of knew that. I just was, I knew that I was sitting here telling them, I said, he's gonna wait till we get through all the rest of them, so it's not a problem.
Hey, Ryan, may I say something?
No.
Well, all right, see you guys later. I just wanted to, we'll reiterate this when we send out that link for the email, but it's not a smart form. It doesn't know who you are unless you tell it. So inevitably, we're going to have some people probably in this room and on this call who are going to select the wrong agency. So then it's going to populate on some other person's, some other agency sheet when they expect it to be on their own. We'll handle those as we get them. But what I'm saying that to just be careful and please select the correct agency and then enter your email address correctly. And so right now, I don't know if it'll be rolled out initially, but there should be if you enter the right email address, we can do kind of like we did with the PDQ and send it back to you. So if you don't get that return email, you know, or if you get the return email and you go, oh no, I selected the wrong agency, well then, you know, just let us know and we'll make the corrections in the sheets. So, but I do want to say, you know, be careful to select the right agency and enter your email address correctly.
Yeah, we had 400 people fill out a PDQ that said they work for the State Personnel Board, and we only have 40 people that work for the State Personnel Board. So it does happen, but just that's a good point. Anybody else on the recruitment stuff before we dive off into unrelated topics? Give Bobby Jones one more time with her hand up. Make sure she's good. All right. Sorry, she typed one in here. Do we have to interview more than one person for non-exempt jobs as we do now, or can we interview only one if the director says the only one? I would be very skeptical if you got a list of 60 people and your supervisor or hiring manager says, I only want to interview one person. That's just me, but that reeks of pre-selection. Again, we'll never know because you're hiring them through NeoGov, how many you actually interviewed, but I would be skeptical of that if it were me. So